When you put yourself out to the public as a paranormal investigator, chances are that if you're willing to tackle residential cases, at some point someone may ask you to remove the spirits from the location. Such is the case I'm presenting here now. My history with this investigation goes back a little over 2 years, when my friend Anthony England was stateside and we were filming for Dark Country. I put out the call that I was looking for people to interview regarding paranormal activity in my town. And I was put in contact with an elderly lady who claimed to have a ghost in her attic. And she reported footfalls, whistling, strange aromas, clangs and bangs, and her name was being called. So we went to interview her at her house and conducted a couple brief EVP sessions, which seemed to at least validate her claims of strange activity. While we were there, she told us of a ghost chaser, that's right, you heard it, that's her word, ghost chaser, that had come to her house previously and claimed to have moved her ghost on. And obviously, that didn't work.
When I first started noticing it, it sounded like somebody was walking. Then later on, they started having noises. Like I said, that whistle. Or there's been times when somebody will call my name real quiet.
Do you know the history of this house?
It was built in 1937.
Okay.
And I bought it from the original.
And they were still alive, I assume, when you bought it?
She was.
She was.
He had died about 6 months before she sold it.
Okay. Did he pass away in the house?
Yes.
Do you know what his name was?
Thurston. This other person that was a ghost chaser, he said that this man resents me living here.
What was his basis for telling you that?
He claimed that he talked to him upstairs. He wanted to go up and look in the attic.
And the activity didn't stop?
Well, it's never stopped.
Okay, so the lady who lives here, she has lived here for almost 40 years, and in that time she's always heard what sounds like footsteps walking around her, above her ceiling. There's just an attic space, there's no second level, and it's a little bit of a tight squeeze, and we really don't have a good ladder to be able to get all the way up in there. And so we're basically just going to try to do an EVP session with this here, and I'm going to hold it up and see if we can find out who or what may be up in her attic. So we'll see what happens. Do you stay up in the attic?
You stay up in the attic?
Yes.
Would you mind coming down and talking to us? Why are you in this house? Your last name is Thurston? He's lived here for a long time with you. Do you know?
Yes. Yeah, I think that was.
Are you talking to us?
It almost sounds like it's got an accent.
Are there any messages that we could deliver for you? Anything you would...
Alright, we think we got some responses.
Well, they are up there. It's not my imagination then.
Well, unless these responses are our imagination, which they could be.
You stay in the attic?
Did you hear that?
Yes, it said yes.
Why are you staying here? Are there any messages that we could deliver for you? Anything you would to know?
Did you hear that?
Robert?
We asked if there's any messages that we could deliver for you, and we hear, and we could be totally wrong, but we think it says mom.
Thurston's could have had a child that passed away that maybe you didn't know about. That would be odd for somebody back in that era to not be that age and not have any kids, wouldn't it?
Because I didn't know the family at all.
Yeah.
Till I bought the house from her.
Right.
I think that's really interesting.
Yeah.
You know.
Recently, she reached out to me again, but this time she was very specific and wanted me to remove the ghost from her house. Historically speaking, in my years of investigating paranormal claims, this is the exact scenario I try to avoid. Because if I'm being honest with myself and everyone involved, and if I'm not a metaphysical disillusional batshit nut, this paranormal investigation thing basically offers a diagnostic service at best. I've never regarded investigating as a fixer or a cure-all for someone who feels haunted. In my mind, the most we can hope to achieve is peace of mind for a client, whether this is proving that their home is not haunted or by providing them data that they're not crazy and may truly be experiencing an unseen force residing with them. But when somebody is 97 years old and asks you for some ghost busting, you really can't tell them no, right? Please note, most responses are heard upon review and not in real time. Changes in the video's filter visually mark the replies that were the most significant. Those various audio responses have been enhanced, repeated, and sometimes slowed down. As always, we do not offer this video as irrefutable evidence of the paranormal, nor do we claim our annotations are 100% conclusive. All we're asking is that you please approach the data presented here with a curious mind, and that you wear damn headphones. I was here before, you mainly said that the noises were focused in the attic. Do you still hear the noises up there too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But most generally it's at different places in the ceiling.
Okay.
Sounds like somebody hit something or somebody's walking.
Right.
You know, there's a step or two.
Yeah.
It's not a continuous noise. There's been times like I'd hear noise like they dropped a bunch of silverware in the floor.
Really? And you'll go in there and there's nothing on the floor?
Well, I don't get up.
Okay.
I'll just stand back.
Oh, so this is at night. This is
Yes.
at night. Okay. Wow.
You know, so many people would laugh at you
Oh yeah.
because they don't.
We
and
won't.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
I didn't believe in ghosts till it's happened to me.
Most people, they when they want us to come in, a lot of times just to validate that they're not crazy, you know, because so many odd things will happen. And you know, that's one thing that we try to do is to try to come in and let them know whether they're crazy or not. You know, because a lot of times we can find explainable reasons why they're hearing the things that they're hearing or smelling the things that they're smelling. So that's part of what we try to do. But with my brief visit here a couple years ago and actually recording some voices in your attic, you know, I'm a little bit more geared right now towards thinking that there probably is something here because of my previous visit. But that's not to say that I wouldn't keep an open mind and an open eye to other things as well, you know.
What did you tell me before that you thought they were hunting for or was here for?
Well, I remember we were asking questions about, because you said the man Thurston died in the house, right? And so we were trying to see maybe if it could be Thurston that could be attached to this house, and we got a voice that said Thurston's not here, but we never really got any clarity on exactly who was here. But I think this time that's going to be a little bit more of my goal. Your husband passed away, right?
Yes.
Did he pass away here?
No.
No? Okay.
No, we lived in Edinburgh.
In Edinburgh. So he passed away before you moved here?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
He died in 72.
72. And what was his name?
David?
David? And you have no reason to think that it could be him?
No.
No.
He had nothing to do with this house.
Right. Okay. I suppose you don't play with Ouija boards at night or anything weird like that, right?
No, all I do is watch game shows on television.
Right.
Handsome motherfucker. Oh,
looks so distinguished. And then an attic troll. lovely attic troll. And Mike.
You hear stuff up there?
Yeah. Interesting. All right. Huh.
It is interesting.
All right, let's do the CVP session. Hey, is there somebody in here with us? Were you just in the closet?
Were you just in the closet? Closet?
Do you remember when I was here before?
Do you remember when I was here before? Do you remember when I was here before?
Do you live up in the attic?
Do you live up in the attic? Do you live up in the attic? Do you live up in the attic?
We mean no disrespect, we're just trying to establish a mode of communication. And we're curious as to who you are and why you're here. Can you tell us why you're here? You speaking to the red light on this device in my hand?
Speaking to the red light on my device in my hand. Device in my hand.
Do you have a message for Edith?
Do you have a message for Edith? Message for Edith?
Okay, I'm gonna stop my recorder here. I'm gonna play this back real quick. Let's be real quiet and just let my phone capture this here.
I'm hearing things besides you all. Are you all hearing that too? Or, because I may be getting the white noise confused because I'm not familiar with that recorder.
What do you think? Do you think you're hearing some replies?
I think it definitely said, it sounded like it said Matthew after you asked, do you remember me?
Okay. Well, I think I heard some definite possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the things I'm speaking of because I'm not familiar with it enough to know that when I hear something like
Right.
that's not.
Well, it's definitely not Class A. As a matter of fact, I'm going to change the battery on this because it's about dead.
Okay.
Man, I've never had more confidence in you right now. Drop that DR60 in the insulation. You'd be digging for it for the rest of your life.
Would feel so bad. The homeowner says she hears lots of noise up here. Can you tell me your name?
Can you tell me your name? Can you tell me your name?
You trying to get the homeowner's attention for something? Is there anybody in particular that you're looking for?
Is there anybody in particular that you're looking for?
It's not Edith that you want to talk to. Who do you want to talk to?
Not Edith that you want to talk to. Who do you want to talk to?
If anybody's up here with me, that device in front of me, if you get close to it, it'll let me know that you're here.
If anybody's up here with me, that device in front of me, if you get close to it, it'll let me know that you're here.
Okay, it seemed to pick up right when he got away from Ida, talking about, is there somebody else that you're wanting to talk with or something?
Yeah.
Now's your chance, and then
Yeah. Yeah, and then that's when it...
Anthony and I were under the impression last time we were here that we kind of went down that road of, is there someone you're looking for? And we thought we heard the response that said, mother. And so that's when we started questioning, you know, the homeowner, if maybe she had like a child that had passed away or, and I'm pretty sure she said she didn't. So maybe it was Thurston's kid, you know, I don't know. But it didn't seem to reply with the whole Thurston thing.
So Edith said she didn't have a kid?
Oh yeah, she has children, but none that like would have passed away or anything like that.
Let me go in and grill her. I'll crack her.
All right, do go for it.
Yeah. She could, we don't know if she's telling the truth for sure.
Twist your finger.
Yeah. What can we do with that line of questioning from the last?
Well, I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna ask some questions. I'm gonna try to squeeze my ass up in there.
Okay.
Okay, so Lindsay was just up here. We heard from someone. The lady who lives here, you startle her sometimes.
The lady who lives here, you startle her sometimes. Is there any way that you can keep from startling her? If you want to get somebody's attention, now's the time to communicate, because she can't help you. I hope you don't mean to scare her, but at night, she hears somebody walking around up here in her house, banging in her closet, and it scares her. Is that you that does that? If so, we're going to ask that you please stop doing that. I'm going to tell you to stop doing it. Do you hear me? So one more time, please let us know who you are and how we can help you, who you're looking for, and we'll review all these recordings. If there's something we can do or anything we can pass on for you, we'll try to get it done so maybe you don't feel like you have to stay up here. Flashlight, please. Flashlight, please.
I light it blue, which I think maybe you did already once. So are you here with me? Is Thurston here? Are you looking for your mother? All right, we're gonna go listen to this. Thank you.
Oh. Everything's fine.
Yeah, she's okay.
Got?
Yep. Oh crap. I'm just kidding. He's gonna beat me when he gets
You ever say don't hinder anything with a value of greater than $25?
Yeah, no shit.
Well, I tell you that for what it's worth, I thought her questioning and getting it brought about was good as far as getting it established from that point on.
All right.
And then yours, excellent follow-up. I was sitting here going through my mind about things that we ought to say or something, or that, and you covered every one of them. You think, okay, all the stuff you picked up at the last, plus you got X amount of things, but not nearly the grab hold stuff that she did. Makes me wonder if it's a male whose big thing is, you know, picking on women, including this little old lady that lives here, and not got the balls to handle it, you know, treat that away to a man or something. So, I don't know.
And then the one response you did get
was
in
negative
reference to me.
Possibly.
I mean,
Possibly. All right. You want to try your hand at it?
I can. I mean,
try to squeeze up there.
Try to squeeze up there.
Yeah.
we all gotta do it. You got it.
Oh, I'm not gonna do it. Got to allow for the wee-wee.
Well, I am the third visitor up here. I think we've kind of brought it up that you're trying to get somebody's attention, not because of the lady here, but because somebody we don't know. Who is that person? Now, bothering her's not going to do any good. Like my partner told you a while ago, you can't do anything but frighten her, and I can't imagine a real man, whether living or dead, would intentionally frighten a little old lady. We don't know exactly what makes you tick, but if you were a horse's ass in life, I guess you could be one now, but there's no reason to be picking on her. If you don't have a purpose for what you're doing, you're going to spend eternity in this house for absolutely nothing. I might be the last person to stick my head up here as long as this house is here. How many spirits are here? Just got a cold chill, which is speaking a lot in this attic. What do you think of Lindsay?
What do you think of Lindsay?
Lindsay was a young lady up here. What do you think about her? Well, I'm getting ready to take my head down out of this attic. I hope you took advantage of this. I hope you're smart enough to know that just may be your last chance. And I don't care if your response is a growl, a yell, a cuss, or whatever. Buddy, this may be it. If I've sounded a bit gruff, that's all it is gruff, because I can't do jack shit to you. Which works out well, because you can't do jack shit to me. So all we can do is communicate. All right, well, I'm getting ready to get out of here. If you tried to communicate, thank you. If you didn't, you're a dumbass. So I will talk to you later. Bye.
Now, this part of me has got to go back out there, right?
Yeah, eventually. Let me go get some butter.
Your knees don't want to bend right here.
No.
I said he had a spread.
Yeah, spread them, man. Just like...
Tell you what, I'm amazed at how brave I am in the daylight. Am I on the floor?
Yeah. Yeah, you're back on Earth, buddy.
I did pretty good to be so muscular. In my mind, I kind of think that there's somewhere between when you're being mean toward in spirit to where you also at times you just, maybe somebody has got to just get a bit more stern with them. Perhaps some spirits would tell you to go screw yourselves. Others, maybe that'd be what it took to get their attention or something. Right. There's got to be a reason why it talks to different people. And I always feel like I have less people talking to me because I'm just got the kind of attitude that as soon as I say something, you want to call a lawyer.
How about one more quick session? We'll send you up. And then as you finish up, we'll put the lid back on the hole. Okay.
Once you're back.
Yeah, we'll keep you on this side.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
you don't want you cross over yet.
We want you on this side of our hole. Actually, don't ask that many questions. I mean, we've asked lots of questions, and it seems to be most responsive when we're leaving. So it seems to be fairly territorial of its little space. So you might just kind of encourage it to get on down the road if it's not going to be forthcoming. Be a little bit more stern, try to set some parameters between it and the homeowner, and all this just to see if we can get any more information, and then maybe just kind of sweeten it up then, and see if it gets anything different. Okay. And
so no asking it what it thinks about females running for president.
Well, you know what?
Shut up, Mike.
If you want to ask some questions just in general about women and stuff, just to see if that might provoke something.
Good thing to find.
Just
provoke.
Talk about chicks.
Talk about chicks.
Yeah.
Say hey, leave her alone.
Mm-hmm. try to set some parameters.
Thanks much.
And tell that we're going to be here a little while longer, run some different devices. If it wants to be cordial enough to come talk to us. Okay. All right. And we can hand you whatever you need once you get up there if you want.
Oh, my butt's gone.
Okay. All right. Recording. Trying to find a spot to put this. Okay, so we've all been up here now. Do you enjoy talking to us? So, if there's somebody up here, do you have a problem with ladies? Do you have a problem with chicks? It's 2019, and there are some women running for president. Does that bother you? Yep. I was just getting ready to ask if you guys heard that.
Radio silence. What's your name? Did you hear her say Edith?
Yes.
It was you? Who are you? Once again, what's the name of the lady that lives here? Do you know Edith? It's being so quiet. You part of Edith's family? Or are you looking for your family? Yeah. Are you by yourself? You're looking for family? We are listening. Do you have a message that you want to pass to someone? You have a warning for someone? Who do you need to warn? Who do you need to warn? Well, if you're having a hard time communicating with us, we apologize, but we also are asking that you quit bothering the lady that lives here. You may not even mean to scare her, but you're waking her up at night. Can you say that again? How many spirits are here in this house? Say one. The following ghost box session, we conducted the double-blind ghost box experiment. The double-blind ghost box was developed by paranormal researchers Daniel Morgan and Sean Taylor in an effort to find an approach to give ghost box responses more concrete credibility. They co-authored a book called The Double-Blind Ghost Box: Scientific Methods, Examples, and Transcripts. The double-blind ghost box is overall a much better experiment than the recently popularized Estes method. Not only does the double-blind ghost box predate the Estes method, but by the fact that it encourages the users to record the audio of the ghost box as a point of reference for reviewing the session. It rules out false positives and leaves less room for trickery from the implementers. Whereas the Estes method focuses more on psychically induced responses from a trance-like state versus responses that can be documented as true data. Not to say the Estes method is total bunk, but I regard it more like a channeling technique versus doing verifiable ITC research. So basically what you're going to see here is the ghost box audio is only heard by the person with the headphones on. The listener is the only receiver of the messages. The listener's mind is not influenced by the biased questioning of the person leading the experiment or any outside noise, and the blindfold is used to prevent visual stimulation. So as questions are asked, the listener will say anything that can be heard as a possible reply through the ghost box. and hopefully these responses will be relevant to the location, the haunting, or wherever. This video is presented with the Ghost Box audio for you to hear, with the messages noted that the listener may or may not have heard at the time. Many versions of a Ghost Box will work for this technique, including the SB7, the S-Box Spirit Box, and even a hacked radio. My box of choice for this session was the Intercom box by my friend Jay Prather. I ran a cord from the pre-effects output and then put a splitter on that line, and ran one line to my headphones and then another to the recorder. Then all I had to do was turn the volume all the way down on the box, hit record on the recorder, and it was good to go. And for more information on the Intercom box, please visit Jay's website at idcdevices.com.
Matthew is a peckerhead.
Yeah, so.
All right, you guys ready?
Yes.
Okay. The way.
Would you like to communicate with us? To start this off right, could you tell us your name? I'm Mike, and this is Lindsay beside me. What is your name? What is the name of the lady that lives here? What town are we in? Did you pass away in this town? What do you want us to do?
Promise you.
Who do you want to talk with?
Take care.
Can we help you?
Old man. One life. Mike.
What does Mike do?
Lindsay. Game over. Goodbye.
Okay. Would you like for us to let you go now? Tell us goodbye again.
Leave.
We can take a hint.
With you.
With
you.
Well, tell Matthew goodbye. I couldn't figure out how to stop it without touching it. Here.
Don't say anything.
Will you talk with us? Can we be friends?
Burning.
When did you pass away? Are you looking for your mother?
Every day.
What was your mother's name?
Ed.
Let me ask you again, what was your mother's name?
It can take a while.
Protected by
Protected.
Do you realize you have passed?
So after going to the client's house and doing several EVP sessions, we tried to establish a line of communication. And then we tried to negotiate by reasoning with an entity, for lack of a better term, to set parameters between the material and immaterial planes in an effort to diffuse the poltergeist activity with the client and the unknown. Did this effort settle down the restless spirit? Did it get rid of the ghost? If you're investigating a house and you believe something intelligent is present, maybe it could be reasonable and comply with your request, right? Then there's the whole adage of, if you were an asshat in life, maybe you're still an asshat after death, and it might go tell you just to go F off. Or maybe this haunting is inhuman and it's malevolent and dark, just there to sow anxiety and discord in the homeowner. Regardless of the scenarios we tried to comprehend, the elderly lady here wasn't scared, just perturbed by the sounds and the smells and her inability to get a good night's rest. In this case, at best, we captured some Class B and C EVPs, and not much of our historical research seemed to tie into the end review as to the who and the why something else would be residing in the house. We are still left in the dark. So here's where the rubber meets the road. There are certain moral and ethical obligations we face when we enter someone's home to offer guidance with a haunting, because ultimately, you're dealing with either imaginary claims, perhaps due to mental illness or addiction issues, or some natural explainable occurrences, or maybe you do run into something unexplainable, something truly paranormal. The biggest criticism that Paraholics has faced when releasing our videos of data we've collected is our obvious reluctance in cleansing a location or the act of crossing a spirit over. Especially when you're experimenting with ITC work, you often get a lot of sad replies that ask for help. Are these spirits truly asking for our help? Or could we be being deceived by something we don't understand? What kind of help can we realistically give? How do you help an unseen spirit? Better yet, what the fuck is a spirit? You only know what a spirit or ghost is due to conjecture from your New Age beliefs, your man-made religion, or some half-cocked baked pseudo-scientific theory, right? Even if you're earnestly trying to help with the greatest of intentions, you still can't determine the truth. Be honest. The definition of what's behind all of this is ultimately undefinable because we can't prove it even exists. Even if you can definitively say otherwise, that's your souped up inflated ego speaking, trying to overcompensate for your smallish K2 meter. How about this? What if all paranormal events are facilitated by the energy of our own thoughts? Not saying that they are, but it's just as much a credible theory as the next. Just think, I could right cross your intent over into the love of white light. That would be amazing. I'm not going down this path to run over psychic mediums and people with the gifts of discernment. Some folks are more in tune to these energies than others. I've even been in situations where the intensity of such is palatable. But 100% of the time, even if you claim to be a medium, or you're a run-of-the-mill ghost jockey with a black t-shirt, the only person you can truly make a difference for is the living, the client, not the dead. You don't know if you're actually communicating with a deceased, even if it identifies itself to be the ghost of Aunt Patty Mae Twatterson, who choked to death on a cigarette butt on Thanksgiving in 1984. Plus, the living are the much more likely explainable candidate to be the battery for paranormal activity. Whether it's negative history, negative actions, sick or negative people, negativity tends to build up a charge in a space that lingers. Maybe traversing time, dimensions. Maybe between the living and the dead, one facilitates the phenomena of the other. You know, the whole possessed chicken or the demonic egg thing, that old chestnut. Or, if ghosts are real, maybe its presence is there or stuck at a location for a reason. Whether it's free will or because of karmic reasons due to attachment. Personally, if you're a religious person, and if you think that God has lost track of a soul, and you have faith in your capability to cross a spirit over to heaven, makes me think your version of God is either irresponsible or just has some holy ADD when it comes to his creations. And I guess it's divine providence that you're there to help the big guy out. Or maybe our souls all need to be chipped or tagged. In the end, we don't understand what the fuck we're truly doing. We're simply romanticizing the what ifs and the maybes. But sure, yes, please do take on residential cases. Just be mindful not to lead the homeowner or whomever down the mystic rapids of shit creek fantasy. The paranormal is weird enough. Keep it as real as you can. That's the stand of Paraholics. Now, I'm not saying don't experiment. I'm saying definitely experiment 100%. But don't act like you conclusively understand the conclusion, like you have answers, because the answers are going to be different the next house over. You cannot scientifically prove any paranormal captures as validated evidence. You can only document your experience for yourself. If you determine there is something paranormal going on, and the client requests a removal, maybe having a conversation of gentle eviction with your new ethereal buddy will be enough to move it on down the road. This seemed to help with our client, but only time will tell. Was it all placebo? Only time will tell that too. Maybe not giving in to thoughts of the haunting cut off the spirit's ability to thrive in the environment. Therefore, the placebo of feeling relieved and believing it has moved on is a form of spirit resolution because you starved it to death. Thoughts are everything, and especially paramount in the paranormal. If your client requests clergy or a shaman, if that's their path, be supportive. Maybe that will work better for them. And maybe that's all placebo too. Once again, only time will define. Hopefully your efforts culminate into bringing you and the people you try to comfort peace of mind. Experience makes a huge difference when trying to muddle through a haunting, because nobody can truly be an expert in any of this. After all, in the end, nurturing a personal sense of wonder is an amazing gift that so many people refuse to accept. And if your endeavors in researching the paranormal actually helps others, that's a win. But don't get caught up in the ghost weeds just to spin a narrative you can't substantiate. I applaud anyone who pushes his own spirit to self-discovery and understanding in the strange and the unknown. But just don't jump on my approach, because I won't grunt juju out of my ass to cross something over I can't prove is even there. Capiche? Anybody here?